hello, good morning. So, for the last few days, I have been trying to watch my screener of Anora, and for whatever reason, I couldn't really get into it. And then yesterday, I saw a snippet of Mikey Madison and Pamela Anderson on their Actors on Actors, where Mikey talks about how she was offered an intimacy coordinator. She was basically presented with the choice of whether or not she wanted one, and she chose not to have one.
For our film, we didn't. It was a choice that I made, that the filmmakers offered to me if I wanted to bring on an intimacy coordinator or not. And at the time, Mark Eidelstein, who plays Yvonne in the film, we decided that it would be best just to keep it small with us, and then Sean Baker, the director, and Sammy Kwan, his producing partner, and his wife.
And I said, there it is. This is why I knew there was something like uncomfortable happening to me as I watched. I went ahead and continued watching it because I wanted to see the whole thing before I gave my thoughts. And I will start off by saying, Mikey, the whole cast is great. Mikey Madison gives an outstanding performance, an outstanding performance. She's phenomenal. That said, there are reasons why we should have intimacy coordinators. There are reasons why they exist. Number one, actors want to work. Actors want to work, and actors aim to please. So when you, as a producer or as a director, have an actor, a very young actor at that, when you give them the choice of whether or not they need this thing that they know will cost the production money, this thing that mistakenly gives some people the impression that they are there to get in the way of story, naturally many of them are going to say, hey, no, that's okay, because actors, we are people pleasers. We aim to please. We want to go along to get along. And oftentimes many of us can feel like, hey, if there's an issue, I'll speak up, it'll be fine. But the thing is, there's a power imbalance here. Unless we're talking about an A-list star, though generally A-list stars work with A-list directors, so even then there's still that power imbalance. And so actors should not be presented with the choice. That's the first thing. The second thing is, intimacy coordinators are not just there to protect the actors in said sex scene. Intimacy coordinators are there to protect the whole cast and crew. They are there for the entire production. There are sound people, there are costumers, there are cameramen and women who are there who have to also witness and experience these things that are happening in front of their eyes and ears. And they can sometimes have reactions as well. And so that is why you need to have someone there who is there to make sure we have a safe set for everyone involved. Even when it's a closed set, when it's, only 3 or 4 people there in the mix, we still want it to be as safe as possible. And that is an intimacy coordinator's job. Having worked with one on a very independent short film that I wrote, directed, co-directed, and acted in a couple years ago, I have seen the benefits of it. And I have to say, I at first didn't think that I needed one because I was like, hey, I'm the one that's playing the role. I'll be fine. And that is when I was educated on how it's not just about me. It's about everyone here and making sure this is a safe space for everyone to play, for everyone to explore, and that there is someone there who is on the outside looking in, who can step in when needed, who can offer alternatives, who can really be there to help us come up with solutions that protect everyone involved, but still give the director what it is that they want. There's still ways to do it. And they can come up with some wonderful ways, but they are needed. It really should not be an option, especially a movie that is just riddled with sex scenes here, there, and everywhere. And finally, in my opinion, the movie didn't start until 50 minutes in. 50 minutes in is when I finally was like, okay, now my attention is purely focused. Now I'm not wondering when things are going to begin. Now we're in it. And from then on, it was interesting. From then on, I was wondering what was going to happen. From then on, I found it compelling. But, it is getting a lot of buzz. And again, I think Mikey and the entire cast did a great job. I will also say, reading that Sean Baker and his wife slash production partner simulated some of these sexual positions or whatnot to show their actors what they wanted also feels very, very, very problematic to me. But if they had hired an intimacy coordinator, we wouldn't have to be having this discussion. So, anyhow, with as much buzz as this film is getting, I hope that It will also raise this discussion and highlight how important it is for filmmakers, producers, whoever is in charge to make the decision to have as safe of a set as possible and to not leave it in the hands of the actors because it should not be the actor's call.